Stephanie E. Jensen is the author of the Dissecting House series and The Howling of the Dead. She received a bachelor's degree in English from the University of South Florida in 2014. She's also a freelance writer and a music journalist. Stephanie lives in Tampa, Florida with her cats, Pluto and Luna, and I have seen them on social media and can confirm they're adorable. Stephanie will be reading from Heartbeat and Other Tales of the Weird and Macabre, which is not even out yet. So you're getting the sneakiest of sneaky peeks. You're so lucky. I'll put a link in the chat to where you can find Stephanie's other books and really, get ready to pre-order it when it is available for you. Stephanie, go ahead and begin reading whenever you would like.
Thank you, Elaine. And that actually starts me at the perfect spot because the story I'm reading is called Pluto and the Plague. And yes, it is. Well, technically, the story is about both of my cats, but the main character is Pluto, my older cat. Just so you know, the story is in the point of view of the cat. And also, I'm going to be starting this around the middle of the story. Pluto's mom has been accused of witchcraft and she's in jail right now. So it begins the torture scene. And also, there's a little bit of French. I try to only read from like a section with very minimal French, but just so you know, ma mère means my mom, and je t'aime is I love you. So now I will begin. I wake up to the men barging into the room, unhooking my ma's shackles from the wall. Jumping onto my ma's shoulder, I hiss at the men. One knocks me to the floor, and they drag ma mère by the chains out the door. She screams and cries as they drag her. The combination of her cries and the chains making rattling noises on the floor sting my ears. Still, I will never let ma mère behind. I jump on her back, staying low and quiet. They open another heavy door and drag us in. This room is bigger than the first one, and there are scary things everywhere. Heavy objects are on the ground, and there are weapons all over the wall. Lanterns hang on the wall, the flames casting an eerie red glow in the dark room. The men take ma mère to a plank. They lift her up, and I jump off her back. I try to hide, but one of the men catch me. Ugh, this pesky cat, he snarls as he holds me by the fur on my back. Put me down, I yell. Richard, grab that X from the wall. We must send this beast back down to hell. Wait, don't kill the cat, the man Christian from earlier said. The cat is further proof that Sylvie is guilty of witchcraft. I'm not a witch, Sylvie says in a hoarse voice. If you keep denying it, the pain will get worse, one of the men said as they strapped her legs to the plank. They remove her chains but place her fingers in this weird contraption with a bar on top. The men drag the bar down so it squishes the tops of her fingers. Sylvie de Nerval, are you a witch? No, my mare exclaims. The men focus on the weird contraption on her hands. I jump on the plank and get a better look. We'll ask you again. Sylvie de Nerval, are you a witch? No, my ma yells again. The men push the bar down more, and my mare shrieks. We can still prove you're a witch. You cast spells on the public, and you have a black cat. If you keep denying it, we will strip you to find Satan's marks on your body. So how about you start being honest with us? Cast spells? My neighbors visit me when they have aches and pains, and I know the right plants and flowers to heal them. And Pluto here kills the mice near my house. He has been my companion since my husband died. So you're admitting your husband died. Of what, Sylvie? Did you kill him with your witch spells? Make a deal with Satan? No. Jean-Michel? Well, he liked the bottle. Ha! I've known Jean-Michel for many years and never saw him drink wine. He would drink at home. So you're a witch and a murderer. No, I'm not. The men push the bar down further. I see my ma's fingers smush from underneath the bar, and she cries out in pain. I rub my head on her fingers and lick them, hoping that takes away her pain. Strip her. Let's find Satan's mark. And can someone do something about this cat? One of the men grabs a knife and cuts my ma's dress. She cries as they examine her body. I growl, anger coursing through my veins as I see these men taking advantage of my mare. I found it, one man exclaims as he lifts my ma's breast. Satan's mark. The man points to a brown spot. I would sometimes paw that spot, thinking it was a bug, but my mare would yell and swat my paw off, so I stopped doing that. That's a mole, you imbeciles, my mare yells. This is more proof that you're a witch, Christian says. Satan's mark, your spells, and the black cat. You'll be burned tomorrow. Put the witch back in her room. The men unhook my mare from her binds and drag her out of the dungeon without putting her dress back on. I jump on her shoulders, rubbing against her cheek. She cries as she presses her cheek into my head. They put her back in her chains once we're back in the room. The men make gagging noises at me as they close and lock the door. I sit next to my mare on the bench. Her fingers poke out from her chains. They're pale and bloody, sticking out in different directions. I lick her hands and rub my head against her arm. She's still crying as she tries to lift her chained arm and pet my head. Even though my mare is in pain, I still purr. I'm happy I'm with her. I would rather be here while she's suffering than alone in the house, wondering where she was and if she abandoned me. Curling up next to her leg, I fall asleep. Today, the men said they would burn my mare. I spend the morning perched on her shoulder, giving her head buns and bathing her. My mare won't stop shaking and is always praying. She tries to pet me, but her chains hold back her arms. Instead, she always says, Je t'aime, Pluto. The men barge in and unhook my ma's chains, dragging her out of the prison and up the stairs. I stay perched on her shoulder, giving her head bumps to let her know it will be okay. Once we get up the stairs, Mama's body is more broken and bruised than it was before. She's wailing now, begging the men to spare her. They ignore her cries as we walk outside. There's a tall stake in the middle of the field, and men are already standing around the stake with a long rope line. My mare wails as the men pin her against the stake. She begs for her life while they tie her arms. More men approach my mare with lit torches. My mare begs for forgiveness, but I know that won't help. As one man is tying her waist to the stake, I jump on her shoulder and clamp my jaw on his ear. He screams as he tries to swat me off. I dig my claws into his shoulder and take another bite of his ear. A bit of skin gets stuck in my teeth, and I yank my mouth away to pull it off. The copper taste of blood fills my mouth. I swallow the blood and the bit of flesh. Arms wrap around my waist, and I'm thrown to the ground. I look up and see Christian above me. I try to jump up, but Christian kicks me back on the ground. I get back up, but it's too late. The men with torches light the wood at the base. The flames rise as a small flicker, then explode in a blaze. No! My mare screams as the embers rise. The flames kiss her feet and she erupts and screams. She struggles through her restraints as the flames turn her flesh black. And that's it.